So today we'll be looking into repeating actions, and that is loops. Loop is all about repeating actions. Sorry, the noise disturbing you, the background noise. You can still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, thank you. So loops are what allows our program to perform actions repeatedly. So if I want something to repeat a number of times, loops comes in handy and all. So today we'll be looking into why do we need loops? Like why do we need loops in our programs, in our application? What's the importance of these loops? Then we'll look into types of loops in C#. Then among those types, we have the for loop, the while loop, the do while loop, and then we're now going to loop control statements, that is the break and the continue. Then finally going to demo. All right. So why do we need loops and all? Okay. So imagine for a moment maybe you were asked to print a phrase on your Visual Studio. You're asked to print a phrase hello or hello world to the console. And you are not just asked to print just once, you are asked to print it 100 times, right? So what's the first thing? What are you going to do? You can tell me. Let's say you are asked to print hello world 100 times. Just tell me what you would do. Anyone can speak. Hello.
Print conservant have hello 100 times.
Exactly. So you're going to be you're going to be writing out console.write line hello world, next line hello world, like that 100 times. So imagine doing that. You would realize it's not really it's going to be stressful for you, right? So that is why we need loops. Loops allows your program execute a specific block of code, and it also helps you to handle the scenario whereby you have to print the hello 100 times with just one line of code. You will be able to achieve that with the help of loops and all. So it gives us incredibly it makes our code flexible and also process many items. So if you're asked to write a program that involves so many items, or maybe you want to add an item to a list and all, and you don't want to do it manually, you want to apply automations to it, loops come in handy and all. So the benefits is efficiency, flexibility, and automation and all right? Okay, so types of loops in C#, not only in C#, but in other programming language, it all boils down to these various types of loops, which is the for loop, the while loop, the do while loop, and the for each loop, right? So for this part, I won't dwell much on this, right? We'll just talk about this three, while for this one, and we'll cover that when it could be in this cohort, or maybe in the next cohort when we talk about collections and lists and arrays, then I would stress much on this. But for now, we're still going to talk about for loop, while loop, and do while loop. Okay. Let me know whether you guys can still hear me.
Yes, sir, we can still hear you.
Okay, thank you. All right, so for loop, right? Question comes to your mind. So we have for loop, while loop, and do while loop. So when do I use for loop? Like, what's the reason for using for loop? Why, even though you know that they still perform the same tasks, why do I need to use for loop? So for loop is your when you want to know exactly how many times you want to process or repeat something, that is when you go for a for loop. Take, for example, you're asked to write hello world 10 times, right? You're asked to write hello world 10 times. You know the number of times you're supposed to write the hello world. So since you know the number of times you are supposed to write hello world, then for loop comes in handy. for that kind of problem, right? So when you know the number of times you are to repeat a task, you go for loop, right? So it's broken down into three parts, separated by a semicolon inside its parenthesis. So for loop comprises of three parts. The first one is the initialization, right? Which runs once at the beginning of the program. So you might not understand this clearly, right? So just when we go into demo, everything will become clear. So just take note of that. So first part is the initialization. Second part is the condition. So which checks before each iterations, right? So as far as the condition is met, it will continue repeating. Then if the condition is not met, it breaks out of the loop. We'll see all this when we go into the demo part. Then finally is the iterator, the increment, the decrement that moves our index, that moves our initialization to the next digit and all. All these we will see clearly when we go into the demo part. All right. So this is the syntax for it, for initialization, condition, iterator. Like I said, I always say, I don't expect you to cram syntax now, right? So it is allowed for you to get something somewhere else, maybe like a notebook or something that you could just write this down so that whenever you are asked to implement a problem using for loop, you could just go to that paper or wherever you wrote it down to just copy it. So you're not to cram, just get the syntax, then know how to use it. Okay. Any question before we go to the next? Are we good? Hello?
Yes, I will.
All right, thank you. So next is the while loop. We have the for loop and we have the while loop. So this loop is ideal when you want to keep repeating a block of code as long as a specific condition remains true, right? So I don't know the number of times I'm going to, maybe you are given a problem that says, use a loop to solve this problem. I'm not sure how many times you are going to run, but just solve the problem. Now, I do not know the number of times I'm going to repeat the process, right? So since I don't know the number of times, it's best to go use the while loop that solves that, okay? But when I know the number of times I'm to repeat the flow, right? I go for loop. But if I don't know the number of times, while loop is your best option. So just take note of that. So used when you want to repeat a block of code, as long as a specified condition remains true, the condition is checked before each execution. Everything we'll see when we go into demo. Then the condition is initially false, the loop body will never execute. While, so this is the syntax, while, then the condition, then the body, right? Code to repeat. Also, warning, be careful of infinite loops where the condition never becomes false. We'll talk about this when we go into demo part. Any question? All right, let's proceed to the next. Then do while loop. Do while loop. Do while loop. This is similar to the while loop, although with a slight difference, right? So do while loop, the code inside this do while loop is guaranteed. So the difference is that for the while loop, it checks the condition first before entering block, the block of code to execute the line of code. Why for a do while loop, it doesn't check the condition first. It first of all, check the statement, right? It processes the statement. So after processing the statement before it checks the condition. So it's more of let's say, is this user an example is if this user is authenticated, what does that imply? It means you allow the user to enter into the application once and do whatever he wants to do, right? So it might not be clear now. When we go into demo, we understand that, right? And finally, is that for each, which I said I'm not going to talk much about it until we go into collection list and all. So you would appreciate that. And mind you, I think was it 2 days or 3 days ago, someone brought up why var, yeah, var and objects. So there is a reason why I didn't want to talk about that. Okay, so till we enter OOP, so as not to bombard us with so much information. And because this is a beginner's class, so I'm trying as much as possible to make it beginner friendly. All right. All right. Loop control statement. So for the loop control statement, we have the break and the continue. We have the break and the continue. So why is this necessary? Okay. So we all know loops, right? Loops run or they repeat itself based on the condition. So far as the condition is met, it will continue repeating itself like that, like that, like that, right? But there are times or maybe there are scenarios whereby they are repeating itself, and in the process of repeating itself, you want to check if they encounter if that code encounters a certain action, like more like you are asked to, there are 20 students in a school, right? And you are asked to write a program that will check student by student. If you find a student that is that failed the course, stop counting. The goal is to find at least one student, that failed mathematics, right? So assuming in a school of 20 students, you are asked to find one student that failed mathematics. So it means you are going to run a loop starting from the first student, right? Student one. Now, I do not know the number of times I'm going to run because like, I don't know which student failed. It could be 20, it could be 5, it could be 15, right? So since I don't know how many times I'm going to run, I would use a while loop for that and all, okay? So now I'm using a while loop. I checked student one. The student one failed maths, no. I loop to student two, no. So assuming the student that failed maths was in line 11, let's say student 11. So there is a code you have written that if student 11, that's inside the block, if student 11 failed maths, what should happen? Stop the loop. Don't go and check student 12 or 13 or 14. Why? Because in the problem, it was stated that find just one student that failed mathematics. So when you find that one student, don't continue looping, just break out of the loop, just end it. So a way to end it is by using break. Break is a C# keyword that helps us to exit the loop, right? So if you want to exit the loop based on the problem you are given, right, make use of break. Why for continue? Continue is the opposite of break. Break means execute the loop, right? Why continue means, let's say you are asked to find the number of students that failed mathematics, right? Find the number of students that failed mathematics, right? So I'll still use the previous example. We have 20 students, right? We start looping from 1. Student 1 did not fail. Student 2 did not fail. Student 3 did not fail. Now we reach that student 11 that failed maths. Student 11, we have a variable that will store the number of students that failed maths. So now student 11 failed maths. We are not going to execute or maybe exit from the loop. We'll just take note of that student 11 that failed maths and create a variable that stores the number. So we have one student failed math. We will continue looping to student 12, 13, 14, right? It's somehow confusing, right? But just know that break, difference between break and continue is that for break, you stop, you exit whenever a condition, or maybe whenever a condition is met in the line, in the block of code. While for continue, it doesn't exit the loop, it continues. Is someone confused? Hello? Are
No,
we
sir,
good?
I'm not confused. Yes, yes.
Okay, Daniel, you're confused.
Absolutely.
No, I said I'm not confused.
All right, who else is confused? I know that was the whole lot. All right, go ahead. Who
Okay,
has the question here?
so the question is, okay, for the continue, is it that the goal there is to complete the task, you are not to stop even when the student fails? Is that the goal?
Yes, yes. Okay,
Oh,
you know what? Let me do something first. It's been
okay.
a long time I used my um whiteboard. Let me go there and use my whiteboard first. I'm coming. I should have just set that up. Whiteboard, 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 whiteboard. Okay. Mm, all right. Hold on, I'm coming. Let's set this up. Start the whiteboard. All right. All right. Let me know when you can see my screen. Mm, all right. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
All right. Thanks. So I have 10 students. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then let me just tag people that failed maths, tag them as F. F means fail. F, right? Maybe these 3 people, F. Then good is for pass, right? Are we good? Okay. Now, the first problem is find the first student that failed maths and end the loop. That's when we are talking about using break, right? So if you want to end the loop when you have met, maybe you've gotten the condition, right? You have met that criteria, you just end it. That's the goal of the problem. You use break for that. So how it works is it loops, it checks 1. Did student 1 fail maths? No. It checks 2. Did he fail maths? No. Checks 3. Did he fail maths? No. 4 and 5. When it reaches 5 and realize that student 5 failed maths, it's going to break. So by using break, it means it's not going to loop 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's going to execute and come out of the loop. That's because that's the use case of using break, right? But now for continue is based on, it depends on the problem, right? The problem will tell if you are to use break or continue. You will know when to use break and you will know when to use continue based on the problem you are given. So you are asked to find the number of students that failed maths, right? So what you do, you start looping the same way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Student 5 failed maths. You have a variable that will store the number. Let's say n equals to 0. Initially, n is equals to 0 because you have not started looping and you have not, you don't know the number of students that failed maths, right? So you continue looping. You find the first person, you add 1, 1. Now, continue will not exit. It's going to continue to the next 6, 7. It checks 7. 7 fail. You add 1 to the previous value. It becomes what? 2. you continue looping. 8, 9, it checks 9, student F failed, you add 2, 2, 3, like that, until you reach the end. So once it reaches 10, it will automatically break out of the loop. Do you get?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Yeah, all right. So I didn't want to spend much time on talking. So we'll just go into the demo part. Yeah, demo part and all. So, all right. So are we ready to get our hands dirty? Okay. Is the main part, which I hope it doesn't take my time today. Or I'll try as much as possible to be very, very slow. Okay. Can you see my Visual Studio?
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks. So first thing first is the for loop. For loop. So for the for loop, we have what? We have the initialization, right? We have the initialization. Let me do it this way. Okay. Bam, bam. Okay. All right. Let's see. For loop. All right. So the first thing is what? The initialization. You don't need to cram this. This is the initialization. Second thing is the condition. Thank God we all know about conditions. So I don't expect anyone to get lost when I talk about conditions, right? Then third will be the iterator, right? Iterator, which could be increment. I know we didn't talk about increment. That's very important to decrement, all right? Increment and decrement, all right? So about this, I forgot I was supposed to talk about increment and decrement. So difference between increment has to do with, it's just like it works with addition, right? So we know we all are familiar with 1 plus 1, right? Let me do this. Okay. Okay. Uh, 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 uh. All right. All right. Increment. So increment has to do with, we know this now, right? 2 plus 1 equal to 3, right? 3 plus 3 equal to 4. 1 plus 1 equal to 2. So increment works similarly to this. They are the same thing. So when I mean increment, how do we write the increment? Let's say I have this plus plus 2, right? I have plus plus 2 and oh, sorry, can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can.
All right, so plus plus, let's say you have plus plus 1, plus plus 2, plus plus 3, plus plus 4, plus plus 5, right? Equal to this. All right. Plus plus 1 is like saying increment by 1, meaning add 1 to whatever value is there. That's what it means. Okay. Add 1 to whatever value is there. So we have 1. So the one adding to whatever value is there becomes 2. That's what it means by increment. Okay. Plus plus 2 means it's the same thing. Add 1 to whatever value is there. Right? So that's
Yes.
why it's going to be 3. Then same thing, add 1, that's 4. Same thing, that will be 5. Same thing, that's 6. Are we good?
Yes, sir.
All right. Then for decrement, I'm supposed to talk about post and pre-increment, post-increment, and all. I'll try not to talk about that for now, because based on experience, that's the part that a lot of people get confused. So just note this for now. Then with time, I will try and introduce that post-increment and pre-increment, decrement, and all. All right. So we know about this, which is 1, 3 minus 0, and all. Okay. So for this now, decrement is minus, 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 minus. So what it means is take away 1 for whatever value. So it's the opposite of increment. So it's going to be what? 0, right? 2 minus 1 will be 1. 3 minus 1 will be 2. 4 minus 1 will be 3. 5 minus 1 will be 4. Is anyone confused?
No, sir.
All right, we all are following, right? Precious, are we good? Isaac,
Yes, sir.
Abdul.
Yes, sir, we are good.
All right. Okay, fine. All right, let's proceed. So I wanted to talk about that now so that we'll not get lost. Let me put that here. All right. So the iterator, which is the increment and the decrement and all. And finally will be the body. Yeah, the body that executes. All right. All right. So let's see an example. So how is that written? First of all, we have the for loop open in brackets. So inside this bracket, we have these 3 things. Who can remind me what I said about initialization? What did I say about initialization? I think that was the beginning of the class, maybe 3rd class or before class. Initialization and declaration. Yeah. What do you understand by initialization? Sorry?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, declaration is when you just declare the variable without a value, but initialization is declaring and assigning a variable.
Exactly.
A
Exactly.
value, a value. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. So we are all familiar with this int num equal to 4. Or let's use, okay, int num equal to 4, right? We are familiar with this. So what this initialization means, this part, for loop comprises of initialization. It's just this part. We put it here. Semicolon, that's what it means. We are done with the first part. Are we good?
No, sir. I don't understand. Um, can you just explain again, please?
All right. So, all right, and let me do this now. So to talk about this initialization condition and iterator, right? So if I'm asked to write the syntax without using code, this is how it is. For loop, for open bracket. The first one is the initialization, semicolon. The second one will be the what? Condition, semicolon. And the third one will be what? Iterator, iterator. Third one will be the iterator. And after doing that, you have your brackets. That will be the body. This will be the code, the body that executes. I'm trying to explain what I said using pen and paper or so like I said, the for loop comprises of the initialization, which is this part, separated by semicolon, the normal way of initializing a variable. Do you get?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me? Yeah. followed by, you don't need, this is the syntax you use for any for loop. This is the syntax you use. You just need to use the same syntax. It doesn't change. For loop, for, you type FOR, open bracket. These three things is always inside. It's constant. It's in every for loop. Just know that for now. Although there are some manipulations, but just know that for loop comprises of three things inside the bracket. The first one is the initialization, right? Second one is the condition, and third one is the iterator. Are we good? Then in the curly brace, it will contain what needs to be executed, and that's all. Do you understand to this point?
Yes, sir.
Great. We know how to initialize a value, which is a normal int num equal to 4. So this is initialization. This is like initialization, right? Are we good?
Yes, sir.
Good. The next one is, how do we write condition? How do we write condition? We write condition like saying, let's say, boolean bool greater than, right? Equal to, let's say, 4 greater than 9, right? This is a condition, right? Are we good?
Yes, sir.
That's
Yes,
a
sir.
condition, right? Then the iterator is this, what I talk is the increment, which will be plus plus or minus minus or plus plus or minus minus, thereabout, right? So let me talk about this one now. What we did here is what we call pre-increment, where the symbol or the sign is before the number. We call that pre-increment. While there's what we call post-increment, right? Post-increment. Post-increment is this. It's just this. Sorry about the noise. It's this, as the name implies. As the name implies, right? Same thing with this. Decrement. This is pre-decrement. Right. Right. Let's do this. Okay. Sorry about the noise. Pre-decrement. So we have this. So it's going to be 3 minus minus 4 minus minus. There's a difference, so that if I talk about it, we'll get lost. But just with time, right? Okay. So for for loop makes use of, for the iterator, right? For loops make use of the post, makes use of the post iterator, which is either post increment or post decrement, right? So I've talked about initialization, which represents this, okay? The next one is the condition, which is this one, right? And finally, we have the iterator, which could be 3 minus minus or 3 plus plus, which is a post increment. Let me write that down here, which is a post post what? Increment or decrement, right? Are we following? Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes,
Yes,
I'm
sir. We can hear you.
I can hear you.
All right, thanks. So you are asked to write a program So I have this problem. Write a program that prints hello world 5 times. That prints hello world 5 times, right? So write a program that prints hello world 5 times. So step 1 is you have your for loop, right? Step 1 is we need the for loop syntax, which is the for, then open bracket. Step 2 is initialization. We need to initialize a variable, right? Are we good? And we now say, since we want to start looping an or, for every for loop you do, let's say you want to start looping, right? It's always good to assign the variable 0. Who knows why? Instead of 4, instead of 5, why do we need to assign 0 to the variable? Go ahead. I can't hear you.
So come again with your questions.
For every for loop, let's say assuming this is a problem, write a program that prints hello world 5 times, right? You know 5 times now. Let's go to this. Let's do this. Okay. Now, I have, for this question now, right? I'm starting from here, right? So since I'm starting from here, initially, this is known as my index 0, index 1, index 2, index 3, index 4, index 5, index 6, index 7, index 8, index 9. So the problem or the program says write hello world 5 times, right? 5 times, meaning you are going to start from 1. You're going to, then you follow 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So it means your first value that you assign to the variable will be what? N equal to 1, right? Instead of 4 or instead of 5. Are we good?
Yes, sir.
Great. So, but in programming and all, right? This one now, we have to follow, there's what we call index, right? It's okay, since I'm starting from the first one by writing out the hello world, I can just say, fine, let me assign 1 to the variable. But in programming, there's what we call index, right? Index has to do with index more so starts with 0. Like we start counting from 0. Just note that when you have index means whatever you're counting starts from 0. That's the simpler way to explain that anyways. So it starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all. So your normal way is starting from 1, 2, 3, but index means start from index 0, index 1, index 2, index 3, index 4, index 5, like that. Are we good?
Yes, sir.
All right. So now I have the first initialization and I'm going to give it what? 0, because I'm starting from the first. I want to start printing from index 0, right? Are we good?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Great.
sir.
Secondly, the problem says write a program that prints hello world 5 times, right? That prints hello world 5 times, right? So meaning, what's going to be the range, right? Assuming I'm starting from 0, right? I'm starting from 0. Let's say I'm starting from 0. What do you think is going to be the range if I'm going to count? How many times am I going to count to make sure it's going to give me 5 times? Let's say, assuming I start from 0. Okay. All right, go ahead. All right, don't worry. Let me do this first. Let me do this. Sorry, I'm done. I'm going to write this 5 times. Then you be the one to choose which one is ideal. 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So we can have condition of so far as num is greater than 8, okay, I can have this num less than 7, num less than 5, num less than 7, num less than 6, num less than 9 or thereabouts. Okay, so I have range 2, range 3, range 4, range 5, range 6. All right, so now let me just use this less than 3. All right, less than 3. Okay. Num less than 3 means what? What if I ask you to rewrite this? It means this, right? 0, 1, 2, 3. Is this right? When I say you are asked to write all the numbers starting from 0, then it must be less than 3.
No, it's not right
No.
Why is it not right?
because we've exceeded 3. It's supposed to stop at 2. That
Okay, it's
makes it
because it's
possible.
less than, right? All right, don't worry, let me do something. Less than or equal to, all right. Okay, all right. All right, great. So I'm stop at 2, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. No, hold on first. Um, 4, 4. All right. Okay. So let's see. 0, 1, 2, right? So the second one now, all numbers less than 7, but from 0 to less than 7, because initially we are starting from 0, right? So you start counting 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Are we correct?
No, we
No.
are not.
Okay. From 0 to 6. Who is
Yes.
confused why
Yes.
we started from 0? Is anyone confused why we started from 0? Is anyone confused? Hmm? All right. So what if, let's say our initial value, they call this initial value, right? What if our initial value was 3? What does that imply?
Yes, you
That we
start
should
counting
start
from 3.
from 3.
Exactly, start counting from 3. What if it was no, let me don't introduce minus for now. Let's just stick with this so that we don't get confused. All right. So next one is what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right?
No.
No,
Why?
5. Say
Okay,
less
okay.
than or equal to.
So less than or equal to 5. Yeah, sure. Exactly. Thank you. Then next one, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. She? And I got this one now for the first time. Yeah. Then this one will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes, you are
Yes,
And
sir.
the final one is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll be 3. Now we have gotten the initialization. Next thing is, as a programmer, you need to know the number of times. You already know the number of times your loop is going to run, right? Which is 5 times. So you have to come up with a condition that meets these 5 times, right? So as a programmer, since you know the number of times it's going to run, so you are to write the code, write the for loop in such a way that once it's reached that 5 times, it's going to stop the loop automatically. That is what I'm doing this. So you'll be the one to tell me which condition meets these 5 times, right?
Yes.
Great. So we start The first one, num less than 3. Does it meet the 5 times?
No.
Then second one, obviously is
No.
more than 5, so it's not going to meet. Third one is not
Yes.
going to meet. Eh? Third one, does it meet, is it 5 times?
No.
Okay. Then how about this?
Yes.
How about this?
Mhm. Yes.
Great. So that's why they say there are different ways to writing your code. The way you write yours might be different from the way I write mine, and we'll still get the same answer. So it's possible that in your friend, maybe you looked at your friend's code, you'd be like, your condition was actually you use num less than 5. Why my own I used num less than or equal to 4? Why did you get the same this? Why did we get the same solution when your implementation was different? That's because this and this, they are the same thing, right? Because I mean, it gives us the number of times we are to execute the code and all, right? Are we good?
Yes, we are good.
So you can choose to use this condition, which you outputs 5 times. I can decide to use num less than or equal to 4, which still gives me the 5 times, right? So it's left for you to choose which. So now that we know that this condition meets the criteria of the 5 times, I just need to remove this now. This was just to help me know which condition is best, right? Hope we are following. Hello?
Yes, we are.
Great. So we have the norm, which is the initial value, 0, because we are about to start counting from 1, right? We have the range. And finally, we need something that will be increasing the value by 1. And that's where increment comes in. So take for example, if I go to my whiteboard now, I'm starting from 1. Without the iterator, I won't be able to move to 2. Do you get? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is the iterator that is making me move by 1. If you notice now, I'm moving by 1. It's like +1. It's like +1 again. So it's the iterator that is helping me achieve that, right? But mind you,
Yes.
there are iterators that, like I say, it's depending on the problem you're asked to solve. There are some iterators that require you to move by 2, not by 1. So when they say move by 2, it is that iterator that will help you move by 2. And how do we move by 2? It's like this, 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 this. Like I said, it's based on the problem. Okay. But for now, we'll be using the increment, which is moving by 1. Okay. Then when we improve on that, we now go advance little by little.
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead.
So okay, talking about the iterator that move by 2, is the syntax the same to the one that move by
No,
1?
no, it's different. So
Alright,
it's your normal, the moving by 1 is just this ++1 or plus equal to 1. They are the same thing, right? Any confusion?
no, sir.
Hmm?
No, sir.
So I have a
Right.
question.
All right.
Is this supposed to be ++1? Because plus is already +1 now.
++1 is
From
already +1.
like from what you wrote now, you wrote ++1. But when
Okay.
you do it already means 1, right?
Are you
Like
just
adding
joining?
1.
Are you just joining?
No, I'm not just joining. I've been here
Plus
since.
plus 1, what does it mean? It means increment by 1, which will be equal to 2. Like adding 1 to this.
Yes.
Minus 1 is like removing 1 from this, which is 0.
Yes, but let's say you have a variable with a value. Let's say you already have 2 assigned to the variable. If you do that variable plus
Okay.
plus,
Don't worry.
it
Let's do
should
this.
be
All right. Don't worry.
okay.
Let's create a variable. I've done this earlier. Int num equal to plus 3. Right? Let's see. This is not going to work because must be a variable. So it's telling you this is a variable. Sorry. Okay. Let's see. Seems it's not allowing me. Plus 3 plus 5. Let's see. Let's see. Do this now. 5. It's okay. Seems this doesn't work for that. Okay, wait. I have int num equal to 3, right? Now plus num, right? Plus num. This is what I mean. Yeah, this increment this num by 1. So what will be the final value? Let's console.log. You are saying it's supposed to be 3 because of the plus, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Console dot. Oh, why am I using console? Look, I've been doing JavaScript. I don't forget how to write console write line. Console dot write line. Okay. All right. Console dot write line. No, what's the final value for none? Okay. Right. So if I run this now, Can you see my console? Let me add that.
No.
All right, don't worry. I would check that now. All right. Okay. So this is my console. What do you see?
4.
So what did I say about the increment? Increment plus the variable would add 1 automatically to that variable.
Yeah. Yes, we are
Continue.
saying the same thing, sir. We are saying the same
Okay.
thing. It's just from what you wrote in the whiteboard. You wrote
Okay.
plus 1, right? So I was now a
No,
bit,
okay. I
you
meant
know,
plus means increment this value, this 1.
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
You get now, right?
Yes.
All right, great. Then plus or equal to 1 from the last class. I told you there are ways of performing addition. It's either you do 1 plus 1 equal to 2 or 1 plus plus equal to 1. It's like saying 1 equal to 1 plus 1, which is still 2, right? So the iterator is either written like this or like this. Are we following? So what I mean is this. I don't want to be faster than this so that we don't get confused, right? All right, let me uncomment this and uncomment this. We understand this part now, the initialization and the condition, right?
Yes, sir.
Hello, good. So we want to say for our iterator, we'll be using we're going to be using plus num. We'll be using plus num. Who can tell me why I'm still using num? Because it's still based on my variable num. I'm still referencing our variable. Are we good?
Yes,
Hello?
sir.
Great. So I have the initialization, the condition, and the iteration. So this plus num means once you are done, increment or add by 1, continue the flow like that, like that, like that. So after you've written the for loop, right? Now, how it works is this. It checks, this is done just once, right? You know, loop is like this. How loops work, when they say repeatedly, it's like this. Keeps repeating until it breaks out of the loop, right? But for the initialization stage, it reads the initialization. Let me write it somewhere. Hold on. Okay, so assuming this is my initialization, right? The condition, right? And the iteration. Then after the iteration, we have the body and all, right? So how the flow is, it reads the initialization, it checks the condition, right? Then it checks the iteration. After checking the iteration, it enters the body, executes the body, comes out of the body, right? Then goes to this iteration, performs it, right? Then comes to check the condition. Don't worry, it's confusing. Let me do it this way first. Let's say we have a number equal to 0, right? And we want to do this. We want this thing to print 5 times. So this condition is this one. This is the condition. Num less than 4, right? Then we have the iteration that is increasing by 1. Are we following? Hello?
Hi.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Please don't get confused. So just understand the flow, right? Okay. So how it's going to work is it enters the body for the first time. So by entering the body for the first time, initially our number is 0, right? Are we good?
Yes.
Great. So it executes the body, comes out of this, goes straight to the iterator. And the iterator is going to increase it from 0 to what? 1. Right? Right?
Yes, sir.
Great. So after it has increased it by 1, it comes to the condition to check, hey, condition, this one that you have that is the new value, is this one less than 4? Obviously, 1 is less than 4 now, right? So it's going to enter, it's not going to come to this initialization again. It's now going to enter the body, executes the body, comes out, goes straight to the iterator. And the iterator, the job of the iterator is to increase or decrease it. Do you get? Hope we are following.
Yes. Yes.
Great. So it comes to the iterator will increase it again by 1. So by increasing by 1, it is now 2, right? So it increases by 2. It comes to the condition to check, hey, is 2 less than 4? 2 is less than 4, right? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Great. So by 2 less than 4, it means it has met the condition now, which is true. And it's going to go into the body again, does the same thing, come out, straight to the iterator will increase it by 1 again, which is 3. Then it comes to the condition, is 3 less than 4? Yes, it is less than 4. Go to the body, execute it, come out, go straight to the iterator will increase it by what? 1 again, which is now 4. It goes to the condition, is 4 less than 4?
No.
It's not less than 4. So will it still go into the body again?
No.
Fine. So since 4 is not less than 4, it means it is false. The only way a loop can, or the variable can enter this body is when the condition is met, which is true. But now that we have 4, which is 4 is not less than 4, it means it's 4. And because the condition was not met, it's now going to break out of the loop. That's what I meant. Hope we are good.
I didn't get what you said, so.
This last part, right? Is it this last part?
Yes.
Fine. I said 4 less than 4. Is that true or false?
False.
False. And because it is false, it's not going to repeat this same flow again because the condition was not met. Why was the condition not met? Because 4 is not less than 4. 4 is actually equal to 4, right? And because
Yes.
the condition was not met, the loop has ended. And that's why we cannot repeat this flow again because the condition was not met. That's what it means. Do you get now?
Yes.
Okay. Class is quiet. And we have 9 people and 9 people understand this. I know people that join late, they are guilty conscience. They won't ask.
I
Uber.
came late.
Yeah. Okay, you came late. Hi, why did I
Yes.
answer you? Oh, damn. I'm surprised you followed, but it's fine. Just try and watch the video, please. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right. So let's go into the code to see how that works. All right. So I have the iteration and all. So let's do it proper. I have my 4. Then inside, the first thing is the initialization. Like I said here, the initialization, semicolon. So I just need to replace this with this. That's all. I'm following the syntax, no difference, the same way, right? Hope we are good.
Sir.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, great. Now, next is, let me comment this out. So because of the variable names, next is what? The condition. And this is the condition we'll be using. So I just need to plug it here. Finish. And finally is what? The iterator, which is this one. Which is this one and all. But now for for loop, right? For for loop, I know for for loop, we always use this, the post. Later on, I'll tell us why, right? We make use of the post. Okay?
Okay, sir.
All right. Then after doing that, the next is to our body that will contain what you want the code to do or what you want to achieve. So what I want to achieve is hello world 5 times. And because I want to achieve hello world 5 times, I would have my console dot write line, which would print hello world, right?
Yes.
5 times, and that's all. Now, you notice the difference between using a loop and without using a loop. If I don't use the loop, what happens? This is what I'll be doing.
Yes.
5 times, right? Imagine how many lines of code, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which can be done in just 1. Do you get?
Yes,
So
sir.
let's say you're asked to write 100 lines of maybe write hello world 100 times. You realize that you'll be doing this. Like you feel like it's going to be so much. Imagine that. Why you can just do with 1 line, then let your condition control the number of times you want your loop to execute, right? Okay. Okay. So I have this. Okay. Now, let me just write this console dot write line, which will say the end. That's to tell us that we are out of the loop. All right. Okay. So if I should run this now, if I should run this, if I should run this now, let's see what that will give. Oh, I think this is now, it's time now the right time I even introduced to us about the debugging tool. Yeah, debugging tool and all. So let's just use debugging tool, right? So that we see how everything out is being played. So if we want to debug has a way of seeing how the program, how it actually performs, how it works behind the scene, what's really happening behind the scene, how is it getting the values that we are seeing in the console, right? So debug has that feature of seeing what the computer is doing. Yeah. So what I will do now is step one, when using your debug tool, this is where it is. Put a breakpoint where you want it to start from, right? So I want it to start from here. Yeah, I want it to start from here. Let's assume I want it to start from here. Okay. So can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Great. If I want it to start from console right line, I just put it from here so that I see the action or the operations from this console dot right now. But since I want it to start from the beginning, let me just put it here and all. Okay. The reason for bringing this debugging feature now is to help us understand and to help us understand what is really happening with the loop, so we can just go home and try it out ourselves. All right. So after doing that, I come here, see this part here. You know, this is starting, this play means start without debugging. Why this means debugging? Like if you click here, it means you want to debug and all, see everything. So I'm going to click here, not here. I'll click here, right? So it's running. So initially our norm is 0. So what I would do is copy this and put somewhere here to see what is really happening. 0, right? Then I would copy this part. Yeah, I'll copy this part and put here, right? Then I'll copy this part. No need to copy this one now because this will be the one that is increasing and all. So I have num equal to 0 and num less than or 4 equal to 0, true. Who can tell me why this is printing true automatically instead of false?
Because 0 is less than 4.
Thank you very much, because 0 is less than 4. So I have this, right? Next is to this step into, I usually use my keyboard. Okay. To go to the next step, right? Now you have done this. Don't worry, you watch the video and see how I did my own. But if you get stuck, you can always reach out to me. It's not that hard. So you use F11. That's this symbol here at the top of your Visual Studio to go to the next step, right? So
Sir, F what?
F11
I thought there's supposed
or
to be
click here.
something that we use and we're not seeing what you're clicking on.
You guys are not seeing this? My cursor is at the top. Yeah, you're not
Something
seeing
is
that.
blocking it.
Is
Okay,
it
I've
only
seen
you?
it. Okay. I've removed it too.
All
So
right.
this one, what's the work of
Step
this step?
into it. It starts from
Into
here.
another one.
If you want you are the one, like it's like your play button. You're watching a video now. You put your CD in your laptop and you're watching it. You are controlling the view, you're controlling the actions or the flow of the execution. So assuming I want to pause. Pause means I'm not doing anything. It's like this by default is paused. If I want this to move to the next action, that's when I press my F11. F11 means go to the next action.
Okay.
where the guy wants to take the lady's handbag. That's the next. So if I want to see the next action, I press F11 or click this button, this drop down, arrow down symbol. So once I do that, it takes me to the next step, which is what? Num less than 4. So the
Yes.
flow is, it starts with the initialization. Secondly, it checks the condition. If this is less than this, which is still true, right?
Yes.
Then I go to the next. It comes here now, right?
Yes.
Executes the body. This is my console. It executes the body now, right? Once I click here now, it's going to execute the body. Next. So if you check the console now, it has printed it one time, right?
Yes.
It
But
goes to
sir, why
the
is it printing of only 1? I thought you meant to print it increment by 4.
you are actually controlling it like a movie.
Okay, it's not that
See,
I
I have
wrong.
watched something. Don't worry. Let me do it. Let me play the movie without pausing or play. Let me play the movie now. See, it's very fast. You didn't know what happened.
Okay, okay.
Now I want to see what is really happening. How come? What came about this fight? I want to control the
The
movie
loop.
play. Do I need to
Okay.
pause it or do I need to play? Or do
Okay.
I need to, like, I want to understand what really happened. That's the usefulness of debugging, the debugging feature, right?
Yes, sir.
Great. So that's, let me come here and start it again. So initially, there is nothing on the console because this has not been executed, right?
Yes.
Great. So it comes here, I go next. It enters the body. It prints hello world, which is this hello world, right? It goes out
Yes.
of the body. It comes here. Now notice this. So this is 0, but once I click next, it's going to change it to 1. Here will be 1. So if I execute that, it changed to 1. Are we all following?
Yes.
Then it checks now. This is now checking the condition. Is 1 less than 4? Let's see. I click next. It's actually less than 4. That is why it's coming back to the body, right?
Okay,
Then
sir. But, sorry, sir. But sir,
go ahead.
this one that you just copy and paste here,
Yes.
must you copy it like when you are debugging, must you copy it out?
No, it's not important to copy it, but as a beginner, you want to see what is happening. Like, if I don't copy it, how will I know okay, if I don't copy that, there's another way to find out. You can actually come here and hover on
Okay,
it.
I'm over on it and you
Yeah.
see the
Yeah, you see the value. Yeah, you hover
okay.
on this, you see it. But I just wanted us to see what's really like without me hovering on it and all, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So this is what I need. All right. We have not gone into while loop, but it's still similar anyways. All right. So it enters the body, executes it, and that's why we have 2, right? 2 now. It comes out. I click my next. What happens now? This is going to increase it by 1 again, and here will become 2.
Yes.
2. It checks the condition. Is 2 less than or equal to 4? Yes,
Yes.
less than or equal to 4. So it enters the body, comes here, it prints it again. That's 3, which is this 3. Are we following? Right? Hope
Yes.
we are following. Great. Then it comes out, comes to the iterator, increments it again by 1, which will now be 3. 3. Then checks the condition. Is 3 less than or equal to 4? Yeah. Then it goes to the body, prints it again. It becomes 4. That's hello world 4 times. Our goal is to print it 5 times. So yeah. So it comes out, comes here, go to the iterator, increase it by 1 again. So it will become 4. Then it becomes 4. Is 4 less than or equal to 4?
Is equals to 4.
So it meets the condition, right?
Yes.
Great. So it comes to the body, prints it, which is the 5th time. 5 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it comes here. It's not going to break out because it has printed it 5 times. It has to still follow same and check, right?
Yes.
So it comes to the iterator, which increases it to 5. It checks now. See now. Is 5 less than or equal to?
It's less than.
So you see your ID has already flagged that it is now false. So it's now that it's false. Do you think it's going to come into the body?
Yes.
Is it going to enter the body?
It will end the program.
Exactly. So once you click next, you see now it didn't enter yet. That's just gone straight to the next line of code,
Yes.
which is the end. And once we click that, we see that the end finish. So
So I have a question.
all right, go ahead.
In the you're stepping into, there's
Yes.
another one that look like, I don't know, when you move your mouse, it's
No,
showing step.
no.
Oh, so what's
No,
those
no,
ones?
don't worry about that one. For now, don't worry about that one. There's a reason for just stick to the step into. Yeah, stick
Okay,
into the
so
step into. When we go into OOP, yeah,
okay,
you get that one. But for now, the step
okay, so
into. Yes. Right. Any question? All right. Then because we are using for loop, right? This is fine, but when we are dealing with for loop and we are making use of index, because index starts from 0, it's always good to give a variable name I, int I. So when you you write a code and I see your code, you used I variable. It means I know that it's I represents index. Okay, I represents index. So when you are dealing with loops, right, that has to do with index. It's preferred you give your variable I equal to 0, meaning it's an index variable and all. So I'm going to now I have to name here 3 places. Who can
sorry,
remind me?
sir. What do you
Yeah,
say?
for loops, right?
Yes,
And
sir.
when naming your variables, you can do this, so which is still fine, still fine. But I'm telling you that as time goes on, you would see when you maybe you read when you start reading some codes, reading people's code, and you'll be like, why are they using I? Like, why are they using this variable name instead of why are they using I, like this I? Why are they using I less than I variable instead of a variable name, right? So that's what I'm telling you. I means index. So if you go to a code and you read someone's code and the person is using I in the loop, like in the loop, you use I as a variable name. It's a valid variable name because the I means index. Do you get?
Yes, but so here, what you wrote there was none.
Hmm?
Is that the variable? You use none like none like
NUM,
number.
number, yeah.
But then you are saying variable. Is the number the variable? Because I'm saying,
Num is the variable. Num is the variable.
okay, it's the
It's
variable.
just
That is the,
normal variable names. Variable namings. I'm just telling you that when you are checking someone's code and you will see more of I in
okay.
loops, you see more of I. So I'm telling you why that is so, because I represents index. So we have index 0, index 1, index 2, index 3. But you can use your normal. I'm just telling you what you would say
Okay,
in
sir.
post code. Yeah. So let's stick with our norm. All right.
Yes, sir.
Now, there are times when they would say, I want you to write a program that prints hello world 5 times and also signify the times by the index 5 times. And what do my print hello world 5 times and let it look like this? Look like this. It should look like this. We know this now, right? Hello world. But it should look like this. 0 dot hello world, right?
Yes.
Right. We want it to look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do we get?
Yes.
Fine. Great.
Why are you
Now,
not having 5?
hmm?
Okay, it's looping, starting from 0. Like, sorry, I
Exactly.
guess.
Yeah. Starting from 0. Yes. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Now, one way to go about it, which might be funny, is now I want to achieve something like this. So something will tell me, Ayana, if that's the case now, let me just come here and write 0 dot. It automatically know that when it's coming again, it's going to change to 1. Abi? So if I should run this now, you notice that I'm still getting 0 dot 0 dot 0 dot 0 dot 0. Why? Why? Why?
Because
Why is that so?
we statically type 0, so it will keep rendering the 0 hello world.
Oh,
Nothing changes.
nothing changes, right? So I
Yes.
want to make this dynamic. Sorry about the noise. Henry. Yeah, sorry about the noise. So I want this to dynamically print this instead of this is what we call hard coding. You are hard coding this, which is not what we want, okay? So that is where string interpolation comes in, where I need to bring in my $sign. Then because I want to call this variable name, this variable num, right, which represents this 0 initially, I just need to open my curly brace, type num. This dot here is what is here. The dot is constant, so it's okay. What will be changing is the num. Who is confused? Is anyone confused? We are good, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Great. All right, so if I run this, I get 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Now, this all still boils down to manipulation, right? You have to know how to manipulate and all. Now, the question is, it should not tell me the index, you tell me the proper naming. Like, I mean this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So what do you think I'm going to do now?
Change the index
Change the index. That is this,
from
right?
0 to 1. Yes.
Okay. Is that all?
And then you change equals to 5.
This one.
The 4, not the 4.
Okay. 5. Is that all?
Yes.
All right. So if I run this, let's see if we get that. All right, great. We get that. Who is confused? Wow. Everyone understood this fact. That's nice. All right, great. Well done. All right, cool. So that's how we do it using the for loop. It's you get to know it more when you practice. I always advise try and practice, test it out yourself, break the code, just practice. It's not that complicated. All right. So that's for the for loop. So let's go over to while loop, and we have 32 minutes more. Right. All right. The while loop, the while loop, the while loop, the while loop, the while loop. So for the while loop, the while loop, it's still the same way with the for loop, but a slight difference. A slight difference. So how it works is, yeah, we have the initialization. We have the initialization. Then we also have the body. We have the body that executes. No, no, no. We have the initialization. Sorry, we have the condition. Sorry, I was even correct. We have the condition. Then after the condition, we now have the body that executes, right? The body that executes. After the body that executes, we now have the iterator, and finally, okay, it's just these basic ones: the initialization, the condition, the body, the iterator. It's the same way, but the positioning now is now different. Yeah, we're having different positions. So let me just write out that syntactically, right? So I have my while. So the first one means initialize it outside first. So meaning it's going to be what? Initialization will be outside first, right? Then I have my while loop. So my while loop will contain just the condition. Just note the difference, right? Then inside the body, I'll have the body that executes. Then I also have the iterator. That's the difference. So just follow this. It's not that complicated. The difference is this is it. You can see the difference. There's still the same component, the initialization, condition, the body, and the iterator. But the positioning is different. Okay. Are we good?
Yes, sir.
All right, great. So that is just that.
So
So
it's like this one is confusing, no?
don't worry. That's why I say practice. With practice, it's me when I learned this the first time, it was confusing. Yeah, it was very confusing. It's okay to get confused. That's why I say practice it. After this class, try and practice. Please just try and practice. It's not hard. But I believe when we do more examples on this, it will be clearer, okay?
Okay.
All right. Just follow. This is like the steps, but you understood the for loop, right?
Yes, I understood what you did on that one.
Exactly. While loop is even more complex than for loop when funny enough. But it's not that complex. For loop was the complex. That's why I was even shocked. Everyone understood for loop. But while loop is very straightforward. So first thing is what? The initialization, which is I'm still going to perform the same example. I was still going to use loop, the while loop to perform this same problem, right?
Okay, so is it like his for his statements and
No. I have not. If statement is it's not what helps to control. Loops is if you want something to repeat
okay.
5 times or 10 times. I don't want to manually write those things 10 times or 20 times.
So
That's
you
where
use
loops comes in.
okay. Any of
If
the root can do it.
any of the loop, yeah, can do it. So why I made mention of reason why I want to use this loop and this other one is just for code readability. I can actually use for loop to achieve this. I can also use while loop to achieve the same stuff. But based on like the way you write your code has to be readable and all and all and all and all. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So first thing is the initialization, which is outside this. So I'm going to, meaning I have to initialize. So you see this stuff that I used here. And where is our for loop? This, which is inside, it means it has to be outside. That's what it means. It has to be outside, right? Fine,
Yes.
Yes, sir.
great. You said no.
I said yes.
Someone said no, or a guy said no. I can proceed. Okay,
Yes.
I can proceed. Yeah. The next one is the while loop. While you open brace. So inside this while, we just have one thing. We just have one thing, which is going to be the condition. So we just need to take this condition here. That's all. We just need to take this condition, right? And put here. That's all. The next one is the body. Just, you don't need to cram this. You can actually use your notes. Follow the same syntax. Initialization means initialize a variable and do whatever you want to do. your while is the same flow, right? Then after this, your curly brace will contain the body inside. So the body that executes is this console, right?
Yes.
Then finally the iterator, which is this, more of this, which is this one. Finish. It's straightforward. No, it's not hard. Just finish. You are done. Then you have the end as well. Who is confused? Hmm? Are we good?
So, sir, you're saying that this one is more easier than the other one.
While loop is easier than the other for loop because of not too much of writing things. Now, you know this for loop now. I don't want us to start talking about which is easier and which it has their use case. Like I said, for loop is when you know the number of times. So that doesn't mean you cannot use while loop to. You can actually use while loop to achieve the same result. I'm just telling you, in case you are asked, maybe you go for an interview and you are asked, like, what's the reason for me going for loop and why do I need to use while loop? So I'm telling you those interview kind of questions, right? Okay.
Sir.
But you understood the while loop syntax. Shay?
Yes.
Okay, so what I would do is I'll put my breakpoint, then I would debug. So we see the flow, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so it starts from here. Put this here. This. Put this here. Where is it? Okay, it's here. All right. It's actually here. I need to close this down. All right, let me bring it up again. Okay. This here. Then finally is I don't need to do this now. I will just stick with this and two. So it comes here, I step into, right? So it's check the condition. Is 1 less than or equal to 5? Yeah, it is. Come inside, print it. It prints hello world 1 time, right? Then increment to 2. Comes to the block, goes to the condition again. Is anyone confused? Does the same stuff, enter the body, 2 like that, 3 like that, 4 like that, 5. Then it breaks out. And we have a result 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The same thing. Are we following?
Yes.
Now, the class is quiet.
I said yes.
Okay, yeah. Precious, are you following?
I'm sorry.
Precious,
No, yes, I can hear you.
are you following?
Yeah, I just rejoined because I was on the road, so I just rejoined.
Okay, you can watch the video now.
Yeah,
Then,
yeah.
yeah. All right. Deligwe, are you following?
Yeah.
All right. Ede Gifts, are you following?
I'm with you, sir.
Okay. Emmanuel, are you good?
Yeah, I'm following you.
All right. King, are you good?
Yes, sir.
All right. Marianne Uba, are you good?
Yes, sir. I'm with you.
Okay. No need to ask Daniel now. Daniel, senior man. Jimsa Isaac, senior man. So those are my baba. I need to ask you. All right, let's proceed. Okay, we'll soon finish. All right. So we still achieved that. Now, I want to tell you why this iterator is important. So who can tell me why? Okay, what if I remove the iterator? What do you think is going to happen? Who can tell me what is going to happen?
It will just print the hello world, or it will throw error.
Infinitely.
Infinite loop, yeah.
Exactly. The um that is why the iterator is there to prevent such cases, right? But then it is possible to have the iterator and you still get infinite. Do you know that?
So run it, let's see what the results will look like.
No, my system will break. You want to spoil my system? No, if I run this thing now, I'll have to close my Visual Studio. That's the only way to break the loop. Yeah.
This should just continue looping.
Yeah, it's going to loop, 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 loop. It's going to, like, you'll be seeing this stuff. It's going to loop, like, you'll be seeing everything. And there's no way I'll be able to control that except I close my system. And as a programmer, we try as much as possible to be very careful with that, because imagine you wrote a program that in one of your loop there is going to run infinitely, and someone installs the application and tries to run it. It's possible you might spoil the person's system, especially when the system doesn't have enough RAM to hold
Because of the loop.
the loop. Because the more it's running, the more it's taking memory. So if you don't have enough memory, it's going to crash your system and all. So that's why I don't want to run it. So try as much as possible to avoid it. But I'm very sure everyone here is going to fall into that infinite loop. Yeah. Because I've done it once anyways. Okay. So let's see how we can tweak it to cause an infinite loop. So like I said, I can have the iterator here and also do this. I can do this. Do this. Let's say I can actually do this. Yeah. Okay. So with this cause infinite loop, will it cause infinite loop? Hmm?
Sorry, what do you
Yes.
say?
Wait. Hmm.
I have tweaked it. Do you think it's going to cause an infinite loop? Let me increase this. All right.
So I didn't get what you said though.
I have my number equal to 1. Then I have the condition. So far as this number is greater than 5, let it continue looping. Would that
Yeah,
cause
it
an
will cause
infinite
an
loop?
infinite
The
loop.
loop shouldn't run because 1 is not greater than 5. And it's false.
Oh, yes. That's true. That's true. Let me
Okay.
change it.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. All right. Let me change it to, I was trying to achieve this. Okay. Yes. All right. Oh, yeah, that's true. Thank you. So this will cause infinite loop, right? Right?
No.
No?
It's yes, because
Yes, it will.
numbers the that condition will always equate to true because there's really no stopping it. Like the number we're increasing the number after every iteration. So 2 is
Yes,
greater than 1, then next number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, continuously like that.
exactly. Who is confused?
I'm confused. Oh.
Okay.
You saw them?
All right. So what that means is this now. I have my number, right? I have number equal to 2. Is 2 greater than 1?
Yes.
So it's going to run this and increase it to 3, right?
Okay, sir.
It comes to the condition. Is 3 greater than 1?
Yes.
It does the same thing. Is 4 greater than 1?
Yes.
It does the same thing. Is 5 greater than 1? When you are tired, just tell me so that I'll stop.
I'm tired.
So you see why it's going to run infinitely, because imagine you'll be increasing over up to 1 million, 2 million, 3 billion, 4 billion. You can imagine, right?
Yes.
Maybe after now, you can just decide to try it out. Just count 1 to 1 billion so that you see how, and that's
My
stressful
system
and
is
all.
partial.
All right, but it's clearer now, right?
Yes.
All right, great. So let's move over to do while loop. Do while loop. Yeah, do while loop.
Mm.
Okay, do while loop. Sorry about the noise. So do while loop. Okay. All right, do while loop. Do while loop. Do while loop. All right, so how does this work? First of all, we have the initialization. Secondly, we have the body. Yeah, we have the body. The execution, the body that we execute. And thirdly, we have the iterator. Yeah, we have the iterator. And lastly, we have the condition. Just know the difference. Right. We have the condition. Oh, that's all. Finish. So how does that work now is, first of all, initialization. Secondly, the body, right? The body that executes. Thirdly will be the, let me delete this. Thirdly is going to be the do. No. I'm missing something. So initialization first, then secondly, we have the do this. So this is the body that would contain the do what? What are we doing? We are doing the execution, what you want it to execute. So which is the body that execute. Like I say, you don't need to cram this syntax. Just whenever you want to try it out, just go and look where you wrote it down and try it out. Then we have the iterator. Then we come out of the curly brace and put our while what, then finally condition, and that's the end. Finish. It's not hard, like I said. So far as you know what, you know the proper syntax, okay? So we have the initialization, we have the do keyword, then our open curly brace that will contain the statement that needs to be executed, the iterator, and the condition. So what this is doing is it checks the body. Difference between this do while loop and the while loop is that for the while loop, it checks the condition before running the body, right? Why for the do while loop is that it runs the body first before checking the condition. Are we following?
Yes, sir.
All right, great. So it checks the body first. It runs the body first before checking the condition and all. So we can say, let's try something practical. All right, let's try something practical. So an example is this. We make use of console read line so that we just get the flow. Initialization. So we have the initialization first. So I can have my int age, right? Let's say assuming this is my variable age, okay? Then I have the do while loop. Do this. So do what? What do I want to do? Console dot write line, which will say please enter your age. Please enter your age. Must be positive. Must be positive, okay? Then we put that. Then we have our console read line age equal to int dot parse, which will, who can tell me why I'm using my int dot parse?
Because read line takes in a string, so we have to
Okay.
pass it to a, yeah.
All right, thank you. Then while the age is what? Age is less than or equal to 0. Continue looping and finish. Okay, so don't worry, it will become clear. Let me put my debug. Debug was my tutor. Then with debug, I can understand any code. Like it was very clear. So I'll put my breakpoint. They call this breakpoint. Yeah, breakpoint. So I'm going to run it. All right, it's empty. So this is it. You can see my console, right?
Yes, sir.
Great. All right. So I have going there in next. Please enter your age. Now it's telling me to enter my age. So I'm going to click next. So that is going to tell me to enter the age. So if my age is 21, right? Let's say assume my age is 21. I enter. It comes here.
As 21, you go greet me, sir.
It checks is age less than or equal to 0, right? So age less than or equal to 0 is what did I do here? False, right? Wait. It's something fishy. All right. Let's see something. It stopped. So what would have been the right way? Because 20 less than or equal to 0. Is it true or false? Can you hear me?
It's false now.
False. It's false.
20 less than or equal to 0 is false.
Yes.
Yes.
Why?
20 is not less than 0 and it's not equal to
And
0. So it's false.
it's not equal to 0, exactly.
20 is greater
Exactly.
than
All right. So probably what would have been the right way is I want to write the program. I'm kind of teaching us how to write a way, like write a code that can solve that problem, whereby so far as to prompt the user to keep entering a value a the number of times, right? So I want to write a program that the use for this code, the code to keep repeating. It means the value is valid. The value the user is sending or submitting is valid. So what do you think I'm going to do with this condition? What do I do to make sure this process keeps repeating? Hmm? Okay, someone is confused. All right. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, can I get the question again?
Like I want this code to keep on repeating, like it will keep on prompting, please enter your age. I'll enter 21. It will still prompt me again, please enter your age again. I'll still enter 22. But once I enter minus, let's say I enter age and the user enter -1, it should not prompt the user again. It should not prompt the
Okay,
user
you
for
just
another value.
change the less than should be greater than then. So that will always equate it to true
Thank you.
until you are less than 0.
Exactly. Someone cannot be 0 years old now. She?
No.
So you can just say greater than 0, right? Great. Cool. So I'm going to run this. Like I said, it must print this first. Please enter your age. So which is this. So I will be using, if you check this top here, you can either type it, tap it, or press F11. F11 on your keyboard. So I'm used to the keyboard, so you won't be seeing me tapping here, but just know that I'm actually pressing F11, which is taking me to my next line, right? Okay. Gift, go ahead.
So please, can you just be using the step over so I'll just master this one first?
All right, no wahala. All right. Okay. So next is going to prompt me for age 21. I click enter. It goes here. It checks if 21 greater than 0. Yes, it's true. Then it would come in here, enter the curly brace again, ask me for my age, and I have to print my age 45 like that. It
I'm
will
not
keep
seeing
on
your
doing that.
console.
Wow, 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 wow. Sorry, 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 sorry. This thing. Sorry. Okay. Look at it now. Can you see my console? Okay, Gift,
Yes,
go
sir.
ahead.
So this particular loop now, when is it meant to stop?
When
At
a
what
user
point?
enters, a value that is not greater than 0. So if I enter 0, so far, if I enter a value that doesn't meet this condition, it's going to stop.
Okay.
So okay, tell me the value that doesn't meet this condition.
0.
0, right? So let's see now. So I'm just going to run. Let's ask again. And please enter your age. So once I type 0, what happens? It goes here, it checks the
Terminate.
condition, it terminates, finish. Right? So there are times there are problems that you know when to use when. Yeah, truly, you know when to use when. Maybe the program is just more like something similar to this. Enter your age. This is it. It checks. If you want the body to execute first, you want the body of your loop to execute first before the conditions and all. That's when you use your do while, right? But you can still use while loop to achieve that. It's straightforward. You can use your while loop to achieve that. How? By just doing this. You can actually do this. And let's say you want your console.write line to print this one just first. But the issue now is this console write line will be outside because it's not going to be repeating inside. So what do I mean is, let me copy this. Copy this. Copy this. Console write line, enter your age, right? So it enters the age. Okay. Let's see, I have my initialization. Sorry. Int age. Okay. Int age equal to this. Then I have my while loop. While loop that would age greater than 0. Then what happens to it? Then I have the iteration, maybe the iteration, no need for iteration, do nothing, then finish. So the reason why this won't work is because it's going to print this just once, right? Or we can do this, so we can actually do this. Yeah, we can do this. We can put this here. Do you get? Can you hear me?
Said I can put it here.
You can actually put this statement inside. Like, I want to achieve the same thing with do while loop. I want to use while loop to achieve the same thing. That's what I mean. I want to achieve the same thing with do while loop. Can you see my console?
Sir.
Can you see my console?
Yes.
All right, great. So this is what I mean. Yeah, sorry. Please enter your age must be positive. This is this first line that I wrote, right? So if I enter 32, it will come here. If it's valid, it will print this one again. Same thing with this same flow here. Please enter your age. Please enter your age. The difference between this and this is that this is the body. Yeah, I just needed it to print, just use console.writeLine just once. While using while loop, I had to use two times here and here. Do you get?
Yes.
Right, so if I type -9, it breaks out of the loop. I know. Any question?
Why did it break out?
-9.
So it's equals
-9.
to 0, means 0.
-9.
Means
Does it mean is -9 greater than 0?
no, sir.
Great. So that's why it broke out of the loop, right?
Yes.
Great. So finally, let me just do one final exercise. Okay, we'll soon end. Write a program that that gets the number of write a program that gets the number of just thinking of a program to use. Write a program that gets. I want to talk about the break and all. Okay, yes. I can do this. Yeah. So exit the loop. Exit the loop. Exit the loop when number is equal to 6. Right? When num equals to 6. Yeah. Let's see how we can do that. Let's go to our previous example that made us do that. So let's use this for loop. Yep. Okay, let's use this. Okay, we'll soon end. All right. What did I do? Did I copy everything? All right. So this is it. The end of the loop. So now I'm asked to exit the loop when num is what? 6, right? I'm asked to exit the loop when num is 6. So let's assume I have over, let's say 12. My range is num less than or equal to 12. I want to exit this loop when num is 6. Who can tell me, like, what comes to your mind? What comes to your mind when we are given this kind of problem? What comes to your mind? Hmm? Hello? Am I talking to myself?
Hello, sir.
Yeah,
What was the
what
question?
comes to you? I want to exit the loop when num, like, it's going to keep on looping from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 to 7. So I want this whereby when num is currently 6, let it just exit the loop. What do you think I should do? What comes to your mind?
We break. We have to. I think we have to break at index 6, something like that.
So
The
how do
break
we write
table.
that? How do we write that?
Let's use an if statement.
Simple. That's what I wanted to hear. Conditional. That's where conditional statement come in. So if what num is equal to 6, what should happen?
Break.
Break. That's what I wanted to hear. Who is confused?
I'm confused.
Gang. All right. So I'll go to my whiteboard. All right. So I have numbers 1 to 10, right? 1, 2, 3. But you know conditional statement, right? Hmm? Do you understand conditional statement?
Yes.
Okay. 4, 5, 6. Sorry, I'm taking time. I'll soon end. Don't worry. 10. So I'm asked to write the program that once num is 6, it's going to loop. But once num is 6, break out of the loop. So in order to achieve that, that's where conditional statement comes in, right? So the usefulness of the conditional statement is that it starts from 1, it enters the body, right? So inside this body, I have a statement that say, check if this number is equal to 6. If the number is equal to 6, do what? Break. And what do I mean by break? It means exit the loop. Wait, you attended this class late. Ede Gift, is that you? Hello? Were you in class when I talked about break? When I was on the slide. Hmm?
So what do you say?
Break. Were you in class when I talked about break and
Yes.
continue?
Yes.
Okay. So the if statement comes in handy when we want to check if that number is equal to 6. So if the number is equal to 6, break, and break means exit the loop. Don't go and loop for 7, 8, 9, 10. That is what I'm doing here. I'm checking if this num is equal to 6. Don't worry, when we debug, we will see it clearly, right? If num
So where
equals to
I'm
6.
confused is that we are using for and not bringing if.
Everything, you can use it together. Yes.
Okay.
You can do everything. This is your body where you can absolutely do anything you want to do. You can have plenty, you can have over, you can even have your switch statement inside. This is the body of the for loop. So the usefulness of this is let it keep on. If you want something to repeat more than one time, like repetition, right? But in your body, you can have anything you want to have. Okay? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I have the for loop. Sorry, I'll soon end. Let me debug this first. So you see what I mean. After I debug it, everything will become clear. All right. So I check this. It checks now. Currently, num is 1, right? If num equals to 6, is num equal to 6? It's false. So it's not
False.
going to break. It will keep on looping. It's going to keep on looping. It's going to keep on looping until, let me see. No, what's the current value? 5 is not equal to 6. So it will keep on looping until now num is equal to 6. Since num is equal to 6, it means this body will execute, right?
Yes.
And break means exit the loop. Once I execute this, it's going to exit the loop and we've come to the end. That's the meaning of that, right? Do we get it? Hello? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So the problem you will solve would tell when to use break, like I said, break or not, right? So I can have finally, let me talk about the continue. Yeah, continue is, let's say I have a write a program that prints odd numbers, only from 0 to 10. That prints odd numbers only. So how do I achieve that? I can do this num equal to 0, right? Or what are odd? I don't want to go into division and all. We can do this. We can do, what do we need to do here? That print okay, that prints numbers less than 9, right? That prints numbers less than 7. That prints numbers less than 7. Okay, don't worry. Who can tell me what odd numbers and even numbers? So what are they? I'm trying to avoid too much mathematics. Odd numbers. What are odd numbers? Okay, give me an example of odd numbers.
Odd number like 1, 3.
Okay, 1, 3, 5,
Yes.
7, 9, and all. All right, thank you. So, you know, odd numbers, when we talk of odd numbers, I can actually do this. 4, okay, 4 divided by 4 modulus 2 equal to um 0. Is this right or is this wrong?
It's right.
Hmm?
It's right. It's right.
All right. Then how about, I'm trying to avoid this, 7 modulus 2 equal to 1. Right or wrong?
Right.
Right.
Right, Abby. So I want to achieve the goal of, okay, let me just write the code first so that I'll explain what I mean. So I have 0 to 10. So when I mean 0 to 10, I'm talking about 0 to less than or equal to 9, right? Less than or equal to 9, then none plus plus. So I can decide to say if num bar modulus 2, if numbers modulus 2, the program says print odd numbers only, right? Print odd numbers only. So if num modulus 2 is equal to if num modulus 2 is equal to 1, what should happen? Console dot write line, console dot write line then I can do this. All right, I'll soon end though. Sorry for taking your time. Number is odd. Number is odd. Then continue. Continue. All right. Number is odd, then continue. All right. Are we good? Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Ewo, che, person don't yawn for my class. Okay, don't worry, don't worry. That's too much information. Don't worry. Next class, I'll talk about continuing because I should tell that time. I'll talk about continuing in your next class, please. Yeah. Sorry for the time and all. Okay.
Okay,
Hmm?
sir.
All right,
Yes, sir.
thank you. I'm very, very sorry for exceeding our time. Because don't report me. I
No,
beg.
sir. So don't worry, it's not afterwards.
Okay, I can actually teach for straight 8 hours, so
Yes, we are.
I'm
We
used to
must
it.
be.
Yeah. All right, now I think I can end for today. Any question, please? Any question?
No, we need to go and watch the tutorial. Then in the next class we can ask our question.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's okay.